Episode 53. I Won't Spare You. Ivana's eyes were filled with tears when she saw that Bruce was angry with her. She held her stomach and felt very sad. Bruce, how can you do this? You saw Jade's arrogant look just now. I didn't expect things to turn out like this. I'm the one who's pregnant with your child. Did you scold me because you saw that Jade found a rich and handsome man to be her husband? Shut up. When Ivana mentioned that man, Bruce's expression got worse. His eyes were full of displeasure. He really did not expect Jade to get married so quickly after he fooled her. He simply couldn't believe it. He thought that she would have been foolish enough to keep loving him and that she would have been sad for years. He didn't expect to see her with another man so soon. His anger was spiraling out of control. He felt that he had been insulted. Ivana looked at Bruce and was about to say something when she saw Jade and Dario walk out the door. She pulled Bruce's hand and tried to get him to look away. Bruce, let's go. Let's go home. But Bruce didn't want to talk to her at all. Instead, he pushed her away fiercely. Without thinking, he rushed forward and looked coldly at Jade. He said mockingly, Jade, you are really powerful. You have hooked up with a rich man so quickly. What's going on? Did the two of you really get married? Or are you just his lover? Dario acted as if he didn't see Bruce and completely ignored his existence. He just held Jade's hand tightly and carefully supported her. There was an elegant smile on his face, and when he spoke, he was also extremely gentle. Come on, Jade. Be careful, there are steps here. Then Ivana rushed forward and held Bruce's hand. She angrily looked at Jade, whose face looked sweet. Do you really need to say that? Of course, she is just a lover. What wife? Don't you see that they don't even have marriage rings on their fingers? As she spoke, her eyes were filled with disdain. Because she was angry, she didn't notice that they were actually wearing the marriage rings on their fingers. She couldn't believe that Jade was really married. For the last few days, Ivana had been out with Bruce and had not made it home. She didn't even know what exactly happened to Suzanne back at home. If she had, she wouldn't have had such an attitude. Or is it that your hubby can't afford a ring? If he can't afford a diamond ring, you could at least buy a fake ring. Then people will know that you're husband and wife. Don't the two of you look shabby? Marriage without a marriage ring? That's too funny. As Ivana spoke, she raised her hand and pointed to the diamond ring she was wearing. Do you see it? This is the ring Bruce gave me. 10 carats. Have you seen it before, loser? If Jade had taken out her phone at that moment, she might have lost her confidence. They just got their marriage certificate yesterday, so Jade didn't expect Ivana to already have a ring. Even so, Ivana shouldn't insult Dario like that. Jade was very angry. It was true that she didn't have the money to buy a ring, but Dario was different. Why should he be insulted by these people? She even felt that she had implicated him. Ivana, don't be happy too early. You and I know what kind of person Bruce is. He has replaced others. In the future, he will find a woman to replace you. Jade glanced at the ring on her hand. There was no expression on her face. There was only coldness in her eyes. Jade's casual words hinted at Ivana's future. Jade, what nonsense are you talking about? Shut up. You are the mistress. Ivana was so angry that her eyes turned red. Did I say you're the mistress? Why are you in such a hurry to admit it? Ivana saw her arrogant look and became even angrier. She raised her voice. She didn't look like a gentle pregnant woman at all. Jade, let's see if I don't tear your mouth apart. The people coming in and out of the door all turned their eyes toward the door. All the people who came here were famous and rich. That Ivana was pregnant was already well known. And now with this scene outside the door, the reputation of the Winslet family would be completely destroyed. Faced with Ivana's aggression, Jade and Dario just stood there elegantly. It was obvious to everyone watching who the troublemaker was. Bruce's expression became more and more ugly. Because he was afraid that others would recognize him, he hurriedly pulled Ivana away. Remember this. Before Bruce left, he threatened Dario with these words. Then he looked at Jade angrily. No one noticed that Dario's eyes were suddenly filled with bloodlust and danger. Of course, I will remember you. A cold and terrifying voice sounded in the air. Dario, what were you talking about?" "Nothing," Dario replied plainly. Jade finally let out a sigh of relief after they left, and her legs began to soften. Dario saw this and hurriedly supported her. Her entire body leaned against his chest. She'd been completely forced to endure the scene with Ivana and Bruce. It was only because of Dario's strength and trust that she was able to respond so harshly to them. "Let's get in the car." Dario gently stroked her hair. When he looked at Jade, he began to feel calm again. But Jade was even more worried than before. "Dario, I told you long ago that I have nothing but a lot of trouble around me. I'm the one who brought you into this," Jade said with guilt. Dario looked at her quietly and didn't say anything. He went up to kiss her. His kiss was overbearing, but she didn't reject him. He was still very gentle, and she couldn't help but be intoxicated with him. Jade was afraid that she would lose her mind. She hurriedly pushed him away and lowered her head shyly. "Dario, don't be like this. Look, there are many people outside." "You mean I can only kiss you when there's no one around?" Dario narrowed his eyes and stared at her red cheeks. "No!" Jade touched her hot face. She would always be at a disadvantage when she talked to him. "What are you afraid of? I want you to know that we are now husband and wife, so I will face everything with you. If you don't get in the car quickly, I don't know what else I'll do." Dario pulled her into his arms. His tone was very low. Jade heard him and immediately pulled out of his arms. She obediently got into the car that she'd been waiting for a long time. Seeing Jade get into the car, Dario dialed a number without any expression on his face. Before the person on the other end could answer, he coldly ordered, "Cancel any cooperation with Stephen's group immediately. Remember, all cooperation. I will give you 1 day."